G'day, it's Greg Vincent here, welcome to the show. Today I'm here with Jason Pilgrim, and Jason's from Intermotion out here at Richmond, but he's also the president of the Hawkesbury City Chamber of Commerce. So great to have you on the show.
Fantastic, thanks for the invite.
No, look, it was great to catch up with you last night. We had the After 5 event for Hawkesbury, the Chamber of Commerce, and you were talking about something that's actually coming to the Hawkesbury, and that's why I thought I've got to catch up with you and find out about this.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's big.
It is. It's too big to ignore.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it's actually called. The federal election's obviously coming up, and as a part of the New South Wales Business Chamber, we're obviously doing a big support behind the big push to make sure that small businesses actually get our voices heard in Canberra. So there's a big 4-point plan with a lot of intricacy behind it that we've actually put to the different candidates, both the government, the opposition, etc. And we're driving it really hard and pushing forward to say, look, if you guys actually want this country to move forward, these are the type of things that you need to do and need to support. And that's, in and around making it easier to employ people, cutting down the red tape and the duplication, giving the Small Business Commissioner, greater power to stop us having to jump through so many hurdles, get better infrastructure, and overall, reduce taxes and simplify the tax system.
Yeah, no, that's great. Even you were sort of saying about running the company and then the country before, and it really is like that.
It is.
The company drives the country. There's just so much behind the scenes that happens in small business.
Definitely.
And it's so important to make it so much easier for anyone who's out there as an employer trying to get some sort of strategy, their business up and running and working so much more.
Makes it very hard, doesn't it? Look, a vast majority of the small businesses, they're family-based businesses. They're people that are single operators, sole traders, mum and dads. They might be a second generation, moved into the business from their parents. They could be market growers. They could be, it doesn't matter who they are. And the reality is they don't have an exorbitant amount of time and huge budgets like some of the big multinationals to actually invest into jumping through all the hoops and the red tape. And that's one of the biggest things. We need the efficiency of business to be able to become a lot easier. We need the Small Business Commissioner to actually have the right to sort of push the government and make things happen to reduce the red tape so that we don't have massive delays in the duplication of processes and policies and forms and procedures. We don't have the costs that go with that, and obviously increase taxes and application forms, etc. That's a massive one. If you can allow people to actually get more time in their business to do the great work in their business that they do in the first place, then their business is going to grow, the economy is going to grow, the community is going to be better for it, and at the end of the day, Australia's going to be a much better place to live.
Because when you are running a business, you've got to look at the advertising, you've got to look at the marketing, you've got to look at the management, the administration,
all the sales, all the systems, all your employment.
And then huge. Start to embrace all the changes in technology, all these different things that actually come at you as a small business owner. And if you're in a situation where you can just remove some of this duplication that goes on and exists, it's got to be just so much more efficient.
Massively,
for business.
yeah. And a lot of it's just time. We can't buy time. It's about task management. And if we're not able to manage those tasks and we're being forced to do them, then we have no choice. We lose out on that time. But if we can change those tasks around so they become easier, simplified, or for some of the duplication they become, put together so that they don't have to be done 2 or 3 times over, then that actually gives us the time back, and that's where we can invest the time into the more appropriate areas of business growth and development, putting back into our local communities and allowing the economy to grow. And
then you can start to employ more people,
yeah,
which is
exactly.
one of the big
things. It is, yeah.
It's
the third big point there of the big 4 that we're actually putting as part of the campaign. We need to have a simplified tax system, and we need to look at the way the payroll system works, the payroll tax roll. And now, obviously, the opposition at the moment have put their plan out yesterday with Tony and Joe putting forward the idea of one of their promises is to have the 1.5% company tax reduced at the start of 2015, and obviously there'll be some more discussions about that. But those type of things are a great help for us to start moving forward so that we get a more simplified approach. Again, we get back to basics of doing what we do best in our own small businesses.
Yeah, and it doesn't, like I said, this is a non-political platform. The Hawkesbury TV, we're not talking about anything that comes up that's going to benefit small business. Doesn't matter which government comes up with the decision.
Exactly right.
It's
and that's
really
the same as the Chamber of Commerce. We're apolitical. We don't hold a political persuasion, whether it's your big parties like Labor and Liberal, or whether it's Greens or Independents, we don't hold a political persuasion. We just want the best people in power that are actually going to listen to the people they're representing, and that we get the best foot forward in Canberra. And if that means that we need to, work with people outside the current box as such, then so be it. But for us, it's just we need the people in Canberra to actually listen to the people they're representing and putting the best step forward for the economy.
Yeah, and the other part around this is the fourth point is massive, this infrastructure.
Yeah, definitely. Look, we know that we need to improve our roads, we need to improve our rails. There's a lot of talk about how we can increase the efficiency with importing and exporting through our port systems. I mean, for us here in the Hawkesbury, we've got big traffic delay issues and bridge concerns and that type of thing, morning and afternoon. We need to have a big focus in on the infrastructure, because if it's taking away an extra half an hour to and from work every day, well then that's obviously time people take away from family and the psychological and mental health impacts. We just need people to be able to be effectively and efficiently working in their business, working on their business, but also being able to have that downtime, so they're not worried about red tape or the extra the infrastructure issues, and they can just get on with enjoying life and then doing what they do best at work.
Yeah, because people do come to the Hawkesbury to get away from a lot of the rat race and
massively,
and which is it's fantastic, but there are just a few roadblocks there that just need to get sorted out.
Yeah, we always like to say they're challenges, they're not problems, and we've just got to find the right solution. And we may not have the perfect solution at the moment, but if we get the right people in place to actually make sure that we can actually find that solution, we can have that rolled out.
Yeah.
And look, we've got some really strong voice here in the Hawkesbury now. We've got some really great businesses putting a lot of time and effort in. I'm not going to obviously thank everyone for doing that, everyone individually, but together we're starting to really kick some big goals, and that's part of this Too Big to Ignore campaign. It's got a lot of legs, and with the truck coming in a couple of weeks' time, it'll be a pretty special day as well.
Yeah. So this truck, we're just we're going to put a video underneath this truck. This is just insane.
It's huge. It's actually the biggest movable billboard in the Southern Hemisphere. So there's only one place that's sort of really feasible here in Hawkesbury to actually have it situated. And when the viewers actually see the pictures of it sort of being assembled and deassembled, it's pretty scary to think that B double truck looks pretty small when the whole thing gets folded out. There's tables, chairs. It's a whole big entertainment-based area. It's going to be a really, really great day.
Yeah, and it's great that you're bringing it to the Hawkesbury and being in a position where, what day is it on?
Friday the 23rd of August, so it's only a couple of weeks away. Friday the 23rd of August, 7:30 a.m. in the morning. It's just down from the visitor centre in Clarendon, in the big car parking area there opposite the RAF base. There's a free breakfast and coffee. Encourage everyone to turn up. It's the only forum for anyone in the Hawkesbury to actually have their say to the federal candidates that will actually be there. We've also got our 3 local state ministers that will actually be here as well in the morning, and most of our councillors, including our mayor, and that will also be there in the morning. So it's a very big political forum. It's going to be very, very carefully run. Obviously, we're going to do some question and answers and allow everyone to have their voices and opinions heard. We want to make sure that they get the right message, that it's not something that they're putting together themselves from what they think. They're actually getting the news from the horse's mouth. If we want something, we're going to be able to put it forward. We're going to be able to directly question them on what we're actually looking for, and we can actually get our voice heard in Canberra for the first time. So it's going to be a very, very exciting morning.
Oh, that's great. So if you're in, is it pretty much for anyone, or is it more?
Absolutely everyone. Yeah, we need obviously the support of the whole community. We're primarily concerned with getting the people that want to voice their opinion in and around small businesses to come along on that morning. Obviously, as a Chamber of Commerce, we're based around economic and tourist viability for the Hawkesbury. So we really want small business operators to get down there. It is 7:30 in the morning, so if they don't open a shop until 8:30 or 9 o'clock and they can spare half an hour, come down, do some networking. You might make some really great connections and be able to do some business down there as well. But you also get a great opportunity to talk one-on-one with the local, state and federal politicians and candidates, and get our voice heard down in Canberra.
Yeah, and that's the important thing. Is there's a lot of people in business who are they're in there and they're venting about how difficult things are.
Yeah,
this is really an opportunity for you to actually go out there and just have your say.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, it's the only forum inside our community leading up to the federal election where they're going to be able to do a Q&A with the candidates. So we'd greatly encourage everyone to turn up, even if you're not to do with small business and you're viewing this. If you want to come down and say good day, do some meet and greets, maybe get to know some of our local business owners. You might be able to work yourself a bit of a deal with different places.
Who knows exactly how it all unfolds. And that's and the Lions.
The Lions Club have been very grateful with coming on board and helping out. Obviously, all of the costs for the data are being absorbed by the New South Wales Business Chamber, which is we're very grateful for that. So it means that we can put on a free breakfast and coffee and tea and things like that. But the Lions Club are coming along and doing all that preparation, and obviously they'll be able to get some of the funds that we make there on the morning as well to support the Lions Club. So it's a really good feel-good thing for us that the local businesses are able to get involved with things like the Lions Club and put that one big spear arrowhead forward and say, this is who we are, this is what we need to do, and we need you guys to start listening to what's actually happening.
That's great. Look, it's been fabulous to catch up with you.
It's been great,
if anyone's in a situation where you just get along to too big to ignore, and also if you've got any inquiries about the Hawkesbury City Chamber of Commerce, I definitely have a chat to Jason and the crew there.
Jump on our website, send us an email. We've got multiple events, whether it's after 5 events like last night, or the Women in Business. We've got monthly meetings. We've got a lot of different work that we do for the local community, and we really encourage everyone to get in, because obviously the power is in our numbers and the voice that we have. And this is just one of those projects that's got a lot of momentum. Yeah,
well, definitely get along to the event. It's going to be a great opportunity to really get your voice heard.
Fantastic, that's right.
Thanks, Jason.
Not a problem. Thanks for your time. Really appreciate it.
Catch you soon.
Thank you.
Okay, cheers.